the papers get signed. They come for your babies in the dead of the night. No warrant, no warning, just a knock on the door. Say your kids ain't yours anymore. But out on the airwaves, a voice cuts through the lies. Tiffany rising with fire in her eyes. Beside her stands the Punisher, fists clenched tight, screaming truth into the dead of night. Hey, hey, Tiff and the Punisher, angry citizen, riding shotgun too. They're taking on the system that's stealing our youth, shining light where the shadows abuse. From Maine to the heartland, the word's getting out. You don't have to bow, you can stand up and shout. Tiff and the Punisher, angry citizen crew, fighting for the families, fighting for you. They break down the cases, they read you your rights. 4th and 14th, in the heat of the fight, no more silent tears while the courts play their game. These warriors are calling it all by name. Corruption in foster care, judges on the tape, they're pulling back curtains, making the system shake. One podcast, one mic, one furious stand for every stolen child across this land. Hey, 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 Tiff and the Punisher, angry citizen, bring in the truth. They're taking on the system that's breaking our homes, giving power back where the power belongs. From the internet trenches to the courthouse steps, they're waking up parents who ain't slept yet. Tiff and the Punisher, angry citizen crew, we rise with you. Now the whole world knew. Deplorable son 'em, but they tore us apart. Now the Punisher's coming with a righteous heart. Tiff speaking fire, angry citizen roar, 3 voices united, demanding no more. Hey, 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 Tiff and the Punisher, angry citizen standing tall. This is our country, these are our kids. We won't back down, we won't forgive. Play it loud on every radio line. Spread the word till the reform sign shine. Tiff and the Punisher, angry citizen true. This fight ain't over, we're coming for you.
This is not a test. This is the emergency broadcast system. Please stay tuned for the following message and instructions. This is not a test.
DeKalb County Police are asking for the public's help finding a man who disappeared earlier this week. Albert Waugh, who also answers to the name Alex, was last seen on Tuesday afternoon walking away from South Stone Mountain Road. He was last spotted on a surveillance camera on Wellborn Road. Waugh has autism and extremely limited verbal skills. Since then, police have been searching for him using drones, the police helicopter, canvassing the neighborhood, and more. He was last seen wearing a light brown t-shirt, black shorts, and was carrying a black backpack. He is 5'7" and approximately 140 pounds. He walks with a slight drag to his right foot and may shuffle in place while standing. Anyone who sees him should call 911 or the DeKalb County Police Special Victims Unit at 770-724-7710.
We won't stand for corruption. We won't stand for stealing kids. This is the Tiff and The Punisher podcast, now joined by the angry citizen. This is a powerful trio set out to spread the Constitution. This is a powerful trio set out to stop the evil CPS.
We won't stand for corruption, and we won't stand for stealing kids. This is the Tiff and The Punisher podcast, now joined by the angry citizen.
Darren's fine. He's just getting the hang of this. First time using this software, right, Darren? Get the hang?
Yes, I'm brand new to this.
So
I'm
there's
very, very
like
much brand new to here.
buttons you push, I think. There's some buttons somewhere. If you click your mouse, do you have
If
a
I push
mouse?
them, what happens?
Click.
What happens if I push them? Can
Stuff,
you not hear
like
me?
what happened just now.
Oh,
What?
it's magic. What's this button I can push? There's the chat right there. Look at that. Badass.
Tiff's laughing, but I don't
Tiff.
hear. Are you muted, Tiff?
Tiff, are you talking? Tiff?
We don't-
It's
oh, now
loud
we hear
here. No, I'm not talking.
you. Okay.
Oh boy, the little man is angry. Well, Tiff's got a special guest, and she's going to talk to us about a lot of things. But before that goes on, Dana, how's been your week?
My week's been mostly uneventful, Darren. Thanks for asking. I've been making a little progress on some letters, and I'll be sharing that with y'all. Not this moment because it's not ready yet, but basically the idea is we get the right words to say, and we all start saying them, and we'll hopefully start seeing some progress. Because once they figure out we're all on the same page, then the fraud, waste, corruption, tyranny has to come out. There's no place for it to go. Once they realize that all of us see their shenanigans, we know what's going on, and we're calling them out, and we're going to be very public, and we don't need the news media anymore because we have the internet. And if I want to listen to a woman I don't know from far away telling me what she's doing, doesn't matter that it's not on Dan Rather or 60 Minutes or whatever. I can listen and decide for myself if I think she's credible, and if she is, then I'm going to tell my friends.
Especially if it's on CPS breaking news.
Like, it makes sense to me, and in the long run, we win. You know, it's just we all got to get on the same page. That's the thing. We all got to let them know with one voice. We see you. We see your shenanigans, your BS, your kidnapping children, and it's going to stop, and you're going to be held accountable.
I like to call that packing it up, Dana.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've done that for a while. When it's tough, pack is unstoppable, right? And
One is tough, a pack is unstoppable.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah.
Because
nice.
what's crazy is all these people preach the same thing, right? Everybody preaches we got to be together. We're going to be united, but I'm going to be the boss and you're going to listen to what I say. That's pretty much the way that everybody says it. It's not unity. Unity means that we all come together. We conglomerate together. We all share the same title, entitlement, title, however you want to take the role, right? Like that's what unity means. It's not like, Dana, this is mine, and you come to mine, and Tiff and her friend will come to mine, and Vincent Davis will come to mine, and everybody will come to mine. That's not unity. That's shit. But that's not unity. That's called it's a degree of narcissism. It's a level of narcissism, and it's not unity.
Yeah. Everyone has their movement, their brand, their name. They want to do it their way on their terms. And I've had people in Maine here in Maine tell me that because I'm not a Christian, they won't work with me.
Mm-hmm.
Flat out, just refused. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have a beard. I'm all done with you. We quit.
There you go.
We don't go with guys with beards. Yeah, and it's like this is what we've always preached here. We've always welcomed everybody. Come in, do your thing. This is yours just as much as it is mine. And I think that we portrayed that, and that's what we've tried to do with the CPS breaking news and the Tiff and The Punisher show with Angry Citizen and blah blah blah. Like, we have tried to promote this unity thing, but for whatever reason, we can't draw the people that want to be unified because they're like, we're doing our own thing.
It's much harder than I thought it would be. Like I'm seeing progress, so little that I'm baffled as to why it's so hard. I don't get it. Like, it's like we're all in a sinking ship. There's holes in the hull, and we're arguing over what to do about it instead of actually doing anything. We're just arguing about how it should be done, and so that's got to stop. We've got to all get on the same page and work together, because otherwise they're going to continue to dominate us and kidnap our children and steal our money and give themselves raises and salaries for life and keep business as usual.
Yeah.
So you want to introduce our guest?
Yeah, Tiff. This is your thing. Let's do it. Bring her out.
So I met Amanda about 6 years ago. And
that's Amanda.
She called me. Yeah. Well, listen, she called me today and said, I'm coming up. So I said, oh, great. And then she started talking about Darren's favorite word, void ab initio. I said, oh, get here before 8 so you can come on our show.
I got here 5 minutes beforehand. I was just in time.
And I told her I want her to talk about it because, Darren, that's your favorite word.
Words, yes, it is. And I am going to prove that this is going to work.
I recently petitioned to transfer venue due to several instances of state-created danger. Everything I'm about to say is documented and I can prove. So there are several instances of state-created danger. I filed a motion to vacate order for void ab initio. It's void from the beginning. The court who issued the Chin's petition, Child in Need of Services, that is JNDR, Juvenile and Domestic Relations, has exclusive jurisdiction over a Chin's petition. However, even on the transcript that I have, the circuit court judge admitted, this is the first time I've ever heard of a Chin's petition originating in circuit court. And my representative at the time stood up and said, Your Honor, like, you do not have the jurisdiction to grant this petition. And he granted it anyway, making it void ab initio. Furthermore, CPS stole my children from elementary school without a signed court order. And I didn't even get to kiss them goodbye that morning. And they had all like colluded to basically, and they even told my children they were going into foster care. So everyone knew, the guardian ad litem for the kids, the, you know, Department of Human Services, the opposing counsel, their dad, everyone knew about it except for me. And like the whole court date, I was just so confused. Like I felt like I was missing something, and I was, and it was because, you know, a clear violation of my due process rights, you know, was taking place, and they were, you know, the whole entire trial de novo was not a trial at all. It was a dress rehearsal. It was a show. It was a sham proceeding because the outcome had already been decided. And furthermore, the court did not have jurisdiction to grant a Chin's petition, therefore making that order and every order subsequently done after that void ab initio, void from the beginning. So furthermore, CPS had custody of my children where they illegally took them from school without a signed court order and then held on to them for 8 days before there was an actual signed court order. So the removal took place on February 12th. There was not a court order signed by a judge until February 20th. So 192 hours, my children were in their custody.
All
without
billable.
Order.
Can I interrupt? Because I just want to make something clear to just for the sake of the viewers, we sort of assume the viewers may be familiar with the term void ab initio, but maybe not. So Darren, you want to do a quick, like, let any of the viewers that don't know what this means, it's important.
Sure. So void ab initio was created by our government back in the early 1900s, I believe. It was a long time ago, but it was essentially made for contracts that could be contracts that were so ridiculous that you didn't even need to discuss the matter. But what's more important of it is that it's void from the beginning. So anything that that has happened to you from point A, which was void, not voidable, void, from forward. So if you got arrested, let's say you were fighting CPS, but you were arrested because of CPS, all of your actions from that point forward are now all, they're gone. They're wiped out. It's as it was from the beginning. Now, the thing is about a void ab initio is it does not have to be adjudicated. So a void order is valid on its face. So you don't have to adjudicate a void ab initio. There's a lot of people that argue this because there are people that say because there's a difference between what they call voidable and void, and they're trying to make void ab initio disappear because it doesn't have to be adjudicated. But people are now using it in adjudication, and it's being used as it's supposed to be, like to be used from point A to moving outward. But it was supposed to be like, it's like this. If you told people in the United States that your kid were kidnapped by CPS and you told them what happened and how it happened, that there was they'd be like, are you shitting me? That's not even legal. Well, that would be a thing that's candidate for void ab initio, right? Because everybody understands that what just happened there is not legal. It's not lawful. It's none of those things. It shouldn't be happening. So that would be a good thing to say is void ab initio. But now people are putting down saying, oh, well, we've got to go to the courts. We have to use the judge to adjudicate this. Oh, the judge has to step in and do this. So it's kind of wearing away from what the actual true void ab initio is, but still it's standing strong in its whole void from the beginning, and anything that came from that is gone, and what were voided is no longer in existence. That's a void ab initio.
So what did they say when you filed all this stuff? What did they say to you? Anything?
So I filed a flurry of motions in Norfolk's. I cannot. Sorry, I just.
All right, take your time. You're fine.
Anyway, no more identifying information, but I filed a flurry of motions in the circuit court where the void order was made. And I was met with and it's been continuous to this day, a complete administrative blockade, a discovery embargo. an entire court operating under constitutional anarchy. And
Well, you said you're in
I mean,
you were in a district court, right, or circuit? You were in a district court. Is that where you were?
circuit court.
Yeah. So they're not. They
So-
don't care. They don't care about the Constitution at all. There, even though they should and they're supposed to.
Right.
Well, that circuit judge granted a motion on something in which it did not have jurisdiction. JDR had exclusive jurisdiction on that petition that was granted, therefore making that that court order and every order based off of that court order void ab initio, void from the
That's right.
beginning.
How was that relieving to you when they granted that to you? You're like, oh my God. Like knowing that was void ab initio, so and you don't have to fight anything longer that got stemmed from that. Like that's just gone now. So
Well,
you can move.
Yeah, so having the knowledge is only half of the battle. Then the other half is exercising, your rights based on that knowledge in a court of law and having them respect your rights. That is the second half of the battle, and that is honestly the most difficult part to get through.
Why didn't you file it in federal court?
I'm working on that.
Okay.
What are you just said that you said to get them to understand and recognize and so on. Explain, like, how do you get in because you're experiencing this and doing this, explain how you do that. How do you make the courts pay attention to your rights? And for, just like you had said, like, what are some things
I'm still trying to figure that out. Make sure that you make a very good record for appeal. I have been a member of Jurisdictionary, aka How to Win in Court. I've spoke with the creator on several occasions. He is a wonderful genius of a man, and it literally teaches you exactly how to be a lawyer without having to go to law school. And I have a promo code that I can share. I would have to look it up, but that, I paid for that. It's a little bit pricey. It's $250, but it is worth every penny. And I have renewed mine every single year, and the renewal is only like $89, or maybe even less. But I mean, with how expensive everything relating to the law is, it is worth its weight in gold. But I mean, it's digital, so it's not literally weight. Anyway,
it's weight in Bitcoin.
All right.
So Amanda, you've been fighting this battle more or less on your own against the corrupt court system, and you are even now, like you said, you don't share too much personal information, and that's because you will face potential ramifications and blowback from.
I already am. The reason why I cannot share any personal identifying information is because I am being watched. I'm 1000% being watched. They have compromised my computer, which the father of my kids, who was in collusion with them, had borrowed it on several occasions. And at the time, I'm trying to make things work, be the great co-parent, and it's a long story. I suffered a horrible accident in 2022 that left me with a severe traumatic brain injury and a 2-month coma where I had to learn how to walk again. However, they expected that to be the end of me, and ironically, it was just the opposite. I woke up from my coma a basically forensic litigator, or a forensic auditor rather, and I was able to literally reconstruct my brain. Because when you're recovering from a brain injury, your brain creates brand new neural pathways, and it's how they have the golden hour when you have a stroke. It's a lot like that when you have a brain injury, like those initial days, months, days, weeks, months. It's a continuous progress, and it took me about a year to get back to just being able to do simple things. But I remember before I was able to walk again, I was reading my books, I was practicing writing, I was playing my guitar in the hospital. My family members brought it. So like that lit up, the other side of my brain. So I was able to do things that was just, lighting up my whole brain. And then eventually I was able to literally manufacture and design myself exactly the brand I wanted, where all the bad things that I didn't like, I was able to get rid of. All the things I did like, I was able to keep, and all the things I wanted to have, I was able to develop. And I will be a continual work in progress for the rest of my life. And I look back on this accident that happened because of the state created danger to me and my children. They are the proximate causation for that accident and the damage that I suffered as a result. But when I look back on that accident, I'm actually very grateful. I believe it was an act of God. And it was an act of intervention because I had become an alcoholic at that time. And I was told by my friends and family that for the first 8 or 9 days, while I was in my coma, I was sweating for like 8 or 9 days straight. But when I finally woke up and my consciousness came back, because they didn't happen at the same time. I was able, without having to feel any pain, because addiction is one of the most difficult things for a human being to overcome. And I was able to do that. I don't remember feeling any pain from the accident. I don't remember feeling any pain from withdrawal and detox. And I had to force myself to muster the self-control and the willpower to have to relearn everything again. Like even the most basic things, like for example, standing up and walking across the room, simple, right? It took every ounce of my strength. And that it was like that for about a year. And then here I am today, the way I am. So I plan on being a future civil rights attorney. I'm about to start my last class before I get my paralegal degree. Starts next month, and yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you. Nothing
Great.
further.
Well done. Yeah, I mean that's very admirable. And I wanted to comment. That's why I asked you about your reluctance to share this personal information, because we are all constitutional Americans. I have every right to say any damn thing I want, and so do you. And you have every right to challenge these so-called authorities, so do I. And your rights are mine, and mine are yours. So first and foremost, I now say to all of you watching, all you agents, all you government tools, okay, all you low-level demonic pieces of shit, okay, fuck all of you, first of all. Secondly, as a constitutional American, I have rights. So does Amanda. And those rights include freedom of speech. I can say any damn thing I want, as long as I'm not hurting anybody or committing a crime. All of you who work for the government, agents, agencies, all of you little nasty little jackals, okay, you're criminals. Your behavior, you are committing crimes. You are criminals, and that's a matter of record. It's all on record. So I've said this to you many times, all of you agents watching and listening. You better get on the right side of this equation, because accountability is coming. I'm telling you, it is coming like a freight train right down the track, and you are going to be on one side or the other. So you need to choose. Do you have something you want to throw in there, Amanda?
Yes, I actually want to elaborate on what you're saying. I totally recognize what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. However, I have learned throughout all of the things that I've had to go through in, uncovering the loop that's going on in the city that did what they did. So yes, we have these rights, and yes, like we want to exercise them and throw up our fists and say, fuck you all. However, it is even better to just move quietly, like a dark horse in the night, and they will not see what is coming. Like, don't let them see.
They see me coming, Amanda.
What you guys
there's
are planning.
no subtlety at all. Believe me, they know who I am. They know. Okay, people in Maine know me. Okay, if
and I also
now I am not doing my job the right way. I'm not saying you should do this. I don't recommend it, okay? I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be on the watch list. I don't really want to have the FBI knocking on my door. But at the same time, I'm just a defiant cuss. I was born defiant. I bucked authority since my earliest day, and I see this egregious actions being taken right in front of us, and that's why I'm angry. And I'm going. This is my role. It's my path to speak out boldly. It's your path to do exactly what you're doing. You're doing just the right thing. You have your lane. I have my lane. So I'm not saying everyone should do this. I'm saying I'm declaring my allegiance to this woman I just literally met moments ago, because she's a constitutional American. I might not like her. Maybe we'll meet each other and we'll hate each other. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Her rights are mine and mine are hers. And if they can do this shit to you, then they can do it to me. So I object. I stand right with her, even if I don't like her. And that's what we all should do, because they can't take us all down. They can take a few of us down, but they can't take us all down.
He does like you, by the way, Amanda. He does. He's fine.
Oh, thank you. So I have something I want to add. So recently, of course, I'm sure other people like said this quote, so I didn't make it up. But I came to the realization of, if you can't beat them, join them as a lawyer and then beat them.
Well done. And I applaud you for that. 'Cause that's not
come
an
at
easy
them from
thing.
the
They
inside.
make it as alien as they can. They're controlled by the bar. For those who do not know, corporate courts are for-profit corporations. They are. And a lot of them do. Some of the comments in the notes about them ignoring things, they do. If they can get away with it, they'll do it. They're thieves and scoundrels and liars, and they will try to manipulate and use cunning and intimidate you and coerce you. It's a jungle. So I applaud you for being willing to get into that, Amanda.
Especially after everything you've been through on top of this.
Yeah,
That's not an easy task at all.
Yeah. And I fully support you. And I will be loud, as you can see.
I couldn't find her, right? Because we talked like once a week. And I'm like, finally I get to the point, I'm like, are you okay? Well, she didn't answer me. Yeah.
Oh.
And then I get these pictures of her in the hospital. I said, oh my God, she almost died.
Someone was texting you for me?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So yeah. And she's been in this fight a while too. So
Yeah, she's got big words.
Don't give up, because you're not alone. A lot of people out there that are supportive.
The Bible warns about the corrupt powers in the latter days, and that is absolutely what is happening with the courts and human services and CPS and all that stuff. So and the only way to combat this is to shed light, to start talking about it, to shine the brightest beam that you possibly can on their secret operations, on their collusions, you have to pierce this titanium curtain that they hide behind. And and it's just going to take a collaborative effort of everyone, because at the end of the day, like you said, it doesn't matter if you like them or not as a person. Like, we all have to support and respect each other as human beings with unalienable rights under the Constitution of the United States of America.
No, that's good stuff. That is good stuff.
Ashley Bright. So when COVID happened, the community college in my area allowed people to do like 6 to 9 credits to get a certificate to, encourage employment. So I got my public law certificate, and then I continued straight into my legal assistant certificate, which is called the litigation specialist. And now I'm about to finish my paralegal. And then I'm going to get my pre-law bachelor's I'm going to major in psych and minor in soc, to continue to be like a very good asset to me as an attorney. I can already read micro expressions from a mile away. I've always wanted to know, ever since I was a child. I used to say that I was going to be a philosopher. It's so funny. But I actually took a philosophy class and I was like, what the fuck is this? Oh gosh, don't get me started on logic. I can't. But I've always wanted to know, ever since, as long as I can remember, why do things happen? Why do people do what they do? Like, why does this world operate the way it does? Like, why? So that's going to be my next mission after I complete this paralegal degree. And then when I'm a civil rights attorney, which that is 10,000% what I'm going to be, I'm going to be the most legal attorney that you never want to come across. And I will be taking systems down for a living, corrupt systems. So
I'm so proud of you.
Take her out of the cage. You're out of the cage.
She has seen me. She knew me before the accident.
Mhm.
So she saw me before. And yeah.
Yeah, I was one of
Were
the
you
first
timid?
people
Were
you
you
came to
timid
see when
before?
you got home.
Did your accident transform you to be a monster?
I'm
What?
sorry.
Did the accident change you? Did the accident transform you to be like a machine? I mean, other than
Oh,
being very timid before, like you.
Absolutely.
really?
I was shy. I had low self-esteem. I was scared of people, so I didn't, like read them, like read their character, read their micro expressions. But then I literally woke up and trained myself to be a forensic litigator. I mean, I have saved, and I put the vice. This is funny. So the vice mayor of the city where I live staged an interview that was really just an information gathering meeting, in which I later found out. And I put him on notice that I was literally going to sue his city. And I was like, sorry, Martin.
It's okay.
Anyway, so and I told him, I told all of there were 5 lawyers and their lead paralegal in that room. The lead paralegal is the one who, pretended. I was like, and then as soon as I got off the phone with her, I was so excited about that firm calling me with such a big name, that I was like, allow me to update you, because I'm also an EMT, which I became after,
Jesus God, what are you not?
I like to collect things. I also was a real estate agent when the accident happened.
Yeah. And she owned a cleaning business,
which I still operate. But
Sanitation
so I put him
engineer.
on notice, and I told him I have saved every single piece of paper since 2014, when this administrative ambush first started. And I put him on notice that, I was like, if you guys hire me, then I'm willing to sue the city as next friend, so that technically on paper, I'm not the one suing them. However, my children absolutely deserve to be compensated for what the city did to them.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. Well done.
Thank you.
I don't even.
Keep us in the loop about what's going on with you, and I'd definitely love to have you back. And I'd love to do a live with you myself. One, if you have progress, in court, especially, that needs to be publicized. Like, people need to see that, because that's what we need to give people the hope that we can compete, that we can, use this system effectively and get lawful remedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And just, and just all of these systems across all of these jurisdictions, courts and human services alike, they are operating under constitutional anarchy. Like, that's exactly what it is. And they need to be held accountable. However, in order, so pro se, I actually put the courts on notice to not call me pro se anymore. We are self-represented litigants. Pro se has a negative connotation. Hold on. Show and tell.
she's getting something out of her bag.
Yeah, we found.
She brings her own
Oh,
cup.
here it is.
This is a book that I bought before the accident. It's called Self-Representation by Jonah Goldschmidt. And it is about the law, ethics, and policy of self-represented litigants and the court's duty to them. And I was in a hearing, and this judge kept challenging me. She would use the most obscure terms that literally most lawyers wouldn't know. And I said, Your Honor, can you please explain that to me? I'm not familiar with that. And she would say, oh, I can't give legal advice. And I said, Your Honor, I'm not asking you for legal advice. I'm asking you for legal information. And that's, that is clearly defined and differentiated from legal advice. She continued to refuse. So I let out a long sigh, took a deep breath, and I said, okay, Your Honor. If you made the decision not to explain these terms to me, these obscure terms, I respect that, because I know that the subject of judicial assistance is a rather hot topic in the legal community right now, and there's no clear set of defined rules that lays out what is okay as far as judicial assistance and what it's not. And because of that, there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of discomfort, misunderstanding, when it comes to that. However, we non-lawyers have a constitutional right to have access to the courts as part of our 14th Amendment rights. I 1000% plan on defending that throughout my career and educating the community and the world, the country, on the duties that the courts have to self-represented litigants. So nothing further.
Well done. I mean, most people are frightened of the court because they don't know how to navigate it. They don't know what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do. So there's a lot of people out there, a surprising number of people out there like you, who are learning. They're like, you know what? I may not be, a lawyer, but maybe I can learn some stuff. And once you start learning,
Again,
you realize
this is where I say, sorry.
Go ahead.
So I will say again, there is a course. When I started researching my rights, I discovered Vincent Davis, and then I discovered How to Win in Court. .com, aka Jurisdictionary. I have spoken to Frederick David Graves on numerous occasions. He's an amazing genius of a man. He's very old though, so by the time I get to where I need to go, I don't think I'm gonna be able to call him up anymore and be like, hey, I made it. But he has promised me that he does have plans for Jurisdictionary to continue even after he passes, which is a huge relief. But it literally teaches you everything. It teaches you more than you would learn in law school, actually. And that is what first gave me the confidence and the knowledge that I needed to know how to command the courts to follow the law. So I have a promo code that I can
give it to Darren. We can give it to Darren after the show.
Yeah, I'll give it to you guys after the show, and then you guys can post it next time. But I recommend it 10 out of 10. It is absolutely, if you plan on representing yourself in court, and I'm not making any money by saying this. He has no idea that I'm even, mentioning his curriculum. But if you plan on representing yourself in court, you absolutely need the knowledge that he has in that course.
Awesome.
What is the website for it again? HowToWinInCourt.com, you said?
Thank you.
Yep, HowToWinInCourt.com. And just to make sure you're not looking at some kind of knockoff, it's also called Jurisdictionary, JURISDICTIONARY, Jurisdictionary.
There it is. How to Win in Court Without a Lawyer. Complete Case Winning Tactics, $249.
Yes. The first payment is $250, but every payment after that, if you renew on time, I think it's $89 a year. It is so worth it. It is so worth it.
I mean, if it's half of what it says and what you're saying, it's absolutely worth it. I can't even believe it's a relatively inexpensive compared with any other. There's a shyster lawyer or two out there charging, what was it, $1,000 for their very
I
presence
literally
in your
told the
life.
judge in the hearing. I said, because she kept talking about the high stakes of this case and blah blah blah, and you get TPR and da da da. And I looked at her in the eyes and I said, Your Honor, I believe I have a higher probability of success by representing myself than I do letting a court-appointed counsel or some other, private attorney represent me. And I just went on and on. Like I learned that when I'm in court, like I guess something comes over me, but I later learned like nothing comes over me. I enter my flow state where I'm my truest self.
You're in the zone, Amanda. You're in the zone.
Exactly. And I love it. I love every moment of it. And that's what this course taught me. And I have stayed this course to this day.
Man, that's good.
Dana, I'll get you her information if you want to do a show with her.
For sure. Absolutely. I would love to. Yeah. Because this is great stuff. I mean, a while back, I don't know if you've seen me talk about this, but it occurred to me that people could learn a lot more about the law, about our rights, if you gave it to them in a kind of bite-sized, morsels, like an education. And so I created this idea. I called it lawful jujitsu. So you give people a really low-level curriculum. Start out with really simple concepts like authority and assumption of authority. And then you start advancing from there. Give them more difficult concepts as you graduate each level. You get more advanced. And even if you don't go too far, at least you have a basic knowledge of your rights, because most people do not. They don't know anything, nothing.
Are you pointing at me?
Zero.
No, I'm like, I have something to add. That's exactly how his course teaches you everything about your rights and the law. So it starts off by explaining what a cause of action is, what the essential elements are that must be met for a cause of action to be successful in court, the different types of causes of action, different types of affirmative defenses, the structure of court proceedings, how all that stuff works. And then like the more you go through the course, like the more you're able to, so it starts off very basic and easy to understand. And by the time you finish it, you go from, oh my gosh, I know nothing about the law, to, all right, a court of appeals, here I come. I'm gonna watch out.
Nice. Yeah, I can't wait for you to get there and tell us about what happens. That'd be great.
Thank you.
I told her, don't worry. You got plenty of clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You're going nowhere soon, that's for sure. You're not going anywhere soon. Wow. Well, that's intense. So what is your what's your next move? Like, what do you I know you can't talk about your stuff specifically.
So I'm waiting on my last class to start in May to get my paralegal degree. And then once I have that degree in hand, I'm immediately going to go into my bachelor's for my pre-law, and I'm going to major in psychology, minor in sociology, and then enter law school. Not sure what law school I'm going to go into yet. It depends on my GPA. However, I have, so the father of my children was very, very, very abusive. And because of that, my grades tanked. My GPA went down to a 1.9 at one point. I believe it's almost like, I think it's 2.9. So it's almost a 3.0. So we'll see. But it's taken a long time and a lot of hard work to even go from there to there. So.
Well, I admire you very much, and I wish you all the best. I hope for great success. I got kind of a hard out in 1 minute, so I'm going to fail. But man, it's been lovely meeting you and chatting with you, and thank you for sharing everything with us. And God bless you. And I think you're on a great path. I really do. So
thank you, and you as well.
Thank you.
Wow.
Darren, Tiff, love you both.
I love you. Are you killing our show? Are we calling it?
I'm leaving. I got a hard out, bro. I gotta be out now. So
all right, buddy.
And thank you, Ashley, for your comments.
Well, are you want to stay, Tiff?
Yeah, I'm staying for a minute because I got some news that I actually got today.
All right.
One came right before she pulled up.
So
my legislative reform starts next month for CPS and foster care. So I'm back on that committee.
Nice.
And I got an interview with Voices for Virginia Children next week.
What is that? What is Voices for Virginia?
Are you there, Derek?
I'm here. Do you hear me? Am I gone?
They advocate for child welfare reform. They advocate for all kinds of stuff.
Was it a job?
Okay. What?
Is it a job or an adventure or what is it?
I don't know yet. They want to talk to me. I think somebody sent my name and email to them, and I got it emailed like at 4 o'clock. I'm like, who the hell is this? So I clicked on it. Yeah, because you know how people be spam mailing you and shit. So anyway, yeah, they want to set up a Zoom meeting and talk to me. They said, give me some time. This is all I said. You set the time and date, I'll be there. So.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, and then I just found out that my legislative stuff starts next month.
Right now. Nonprofit organization.
And I tried to call you earlier. So tomorrow is that Zoom meeting, right?
Okay.
And I sent you the invitation in your email.
Okay.
See if you can log into that and we can live stream it.
Okay.
It's at 11, I think.
Okay, and they're cool with us live streaming it?
I don't know.
Well, they don't get a say then, do they?
I don't know. If we can't, we'll just join it. Well, I'm definitely going to join it.
See what we can do.
Because I was invited to it and I invited you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so nice.
Yeah, and I didn't have Becca.
Big deal. This voice for Virginia's children. Certainly, I can do that. I will send her the. I'll send her the thing of it. I'll send her the link from it.
The link.
Yeah, I can do that. Wow, it's nifty. I'm looking at this.
And I was so excited when she.
Clock's ticking. Just frozen. Just frozen. And just frozen still, and the clock's still ticking. And just still frozen, and the clock's still ticking. And just gone, and the clock's still ticking. All right, everybody. Well, and then there was just one. Oh, here she comes back. There's Tiff.
It kicked me out.
It didn't like what you were saying.
All I was gonna say was I was so excited when she called me today.
I know it.
And then I was even more excited when she said, "I'm on my way to your house." I said, "Oh, thank you."
That's great. Yeah. Well, I'll let you ladies get to the Gavin. I'm sure
it's
you
gonna
guys
be a long night.
And telling stories. I'm sure the 9 o'clock bedtime is not going to be important. So, Amanda, thank you so much. It was nice to meet you. But I recognize you. I know that I've crossed paths with you before.
In the kitchen.
Somewhere, somehow. But yeah. All right, Tiff. Well, tomorrow we're going to try to do that thing, and if we don't, we'll try to do another thing.
If you don't get it, if you didn't get the link, call me and let me know because I'm going to be up for a while.
All right, we'll do.
Night, everybody.
Bye, Tiff. Have a good weekend.
The hunt hunters just became the hunted. Tiff and The Punisher, we're coming for you. Systems corrupt, snatching kids in the night. Foster care pipelines profit from the fight. Lies on the paper, judges paid off clean. Tearing up families, living out their dream. Equal and the same, we uncover the game. Foster care corruption, putting kids through the pain. Gunning for CPS, no mercy, no slack. We expose the truth, now you're under attack. You came for the children, thought you'd never fall. But the table's turning. Hear the battle call. When the hunters become the hunted, we are coming for you. When the hunters become the hunted, CPS, your time is through. Tiff and The Punisher rising from the flames, uncovering the lies, screaming out the name. When the hunters become the hunted, we are coming for you. Podcast dropping bombs, every episode raw. Real survivor stories breaking every law. You hunt the parents, label us all insane. But we flip the script, now you feel the pain. Gunning for CPS, equal and the same. Breaking down the system, screaming out your name. Foster care secrets buried in the dirt. We dig them up deep, watch the whole thing burn. You thought you were untouchable, hiding behind the stage. But the hunted are rising, it's already too late. When the hunters become the hunted, we are coming for you. When the hunters become the hunted, CPS, your time is through. Tiff and The Punisher rising from the flames, uncovering the lies, screaming out the name. When the hunters become the hunted, we are coming for you. Gunning for CPS, equal and the same. Uncovering foster care, your empire, foster day. When the hunters become the hunted, we are coming for you. When the hunters become the hunted, CPS, we're coming through. Tiff and The Punisher, the movement's alive. Parental rights warriors, we will survive. When the hunters become the hunted, we are coming for you. Yeah, the hunters just became the hunted. We coming for you. Tiff and The Punisher. Forever. They said don't fight the system. They said stay quiet. They were wrong. Lock in. We are exposing what so many have failed to. We are going to show you what bar attorneys have hidden from all of us. Hundreds of thousands of children and twice that of parents have been lied to and walked down the road of termination. It's the death penalty. We're all of the protesters, the ones who fight for the rights of prisoners, dogs, illegal immigrants. Why aren't you coming to the aid of our children and families? Right here in America, every day a child per minute is kidnapped. And no one cares. We fight alone until today. CPS Punishers mount up. Here comes the CPS Punisher. Anonymous tip, another lie from one of them. No warrant, no proof, just a badge and a grin. Stealing kids like trophies, thinking they'll win. Mama crying on the porch, daddy in the cage. System wrote the script, but the CPS Punisher just flipped the page. The educator they banned, I see every violation, every forged line. Every ex-part hearing, every stolen time. One gap and the truth ignites. Welcome to the CPS Punisher, now we can fight. CPS and the courts have lied to us all.
The courts will not disgrace the family.
CPS Punisher, here to avoid the chains and expose the game. CPS Punisher, the educator they never wanted you to find. Punisher, one tap and their empire cracks. We rise, we take our kids back. The app is called the CPS Punisher. I'm the cape in the shadows, the skull in the night, the binder full of secrets and weapons you all need. Ab initio, watch me void that lie. Fourth Amendment armor, watch the tyrants cry. Falsified drug test gone in a flash. I see Tebio, warrior, due process king. Every parent's hero when the hotline rings. I call it justice. Download the truth, now the system busts us. From the courtroom to the streets, hear the battle cry. The CPS Punishers arrive. Kiss your bar asses goodbye. They tried to silence us, now we're the loudest voice in the room. CPS Punisher, here to avoid the chains and expose the game. CPS Punisher, the educator they never wanted you to find. Punisher, the children never leave again. Punisher, families rise, we never look back. We now use the CPS Punisher. This ain't revenge, this is reunification. This ain't rage, this is resurrection. Open the app, step into the fight. You ready? CPS Punisher, the app you need when they took your kid. CPS Punisher, the truth they hid, now the truth gets lit. Punisher, download the power, take back the throne. Punisher, you're never alone. CPS Punisher, the educator they never wanted you to find. Void complete, family restored. The bar is finished, the Constitution will prevail. Judges do what's right. Treason is your penalty. CPS Punisher! Here comes the CPS Punisher.
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?